Good morning, everybody. 今天我必须要用华语来讲，因为今天是我要介绍一个人。我先欢迎你们来到我们的立位领袖培训会，给自己本身一个掌声来。也是我们立位2019年第一届的领袖培训会。我们昨天有2场领袖培训会，都已经过万人了。而今天我们也有3场领袖培训会，在那里我们在马来西亚瓜拉隆坡有1场，我们在香港我们有1场，而我们有1场就是在菲律宾。今天不是我做大会指挥，因为大会指挥不是我，所以有很多人都清楚懂我们这一届，全部的总经理在做大会指挥，所以刚刚我们才荣幸，6月刚刚才荣幸14位总监，有7位副总监，有7位总经理。像菲律宾的总经理是谁？我谈到菲律宾这个总经理，我想跟你们分享一下这一个人。菲律宾总经理，我认识他已经5年了。当时候我认识他这一个人，他25岁，他是一个小伙子，是一个很年轻的一个人。我会认识这一个人，是因为 Jackie。Jackie 打一个电话给我，跟我讲，有一个人想参与我们立位 Business Development，所以我就问他这个人是谁，他就跟我讲这个人叫 James Strong。当时候他讲 James Strong， 我问他这一个人多少岁，几岁，他跟我讲24岁。我讲24岁，这个人做什么的？他跟我讲这个人是做警察的。当我听到警察，我在问我自己本身，一个警察进来我们立位做 business development， 我们先来看警察。一个警察，他们训练是什么？我觉得警察他 law by law。rules by rules， 所以我问我自己本身，如果这一个人进来，他能够做到我们 business development 吗？这么正直的一个人，因为警察对就是对，错就是错，所以我自己本身很好奇这一个人，所以那个时候我就跟 Jackie 讲，能不能够介绍这个人给我。所以当时候我飞去新加坡，然后见这一个人。当我见这个人那个时候，他白白，胖胖，很斯文。然后我坐下来跟他聊。当我一坐下来跟他聊，我跟他讲华语，他就跟我讲英文。我就问他：“你会华语吗？”他讲一点点。所以当我跟他聊华语，他就跟我讲英文。当时候他的华语一点点，当时候我的英文也一点点。所以我就跟他聊了。我就问他：为什么警察你不要做？为什么要进来做生意？他讲他想换一个环境。就是4年前我已经认识这一个人，接近5年。所以，当这一个人一进来了过后，我发觉到这个人，他做事情，对就是对，错就是错，很难跟他聊。所以我就跟他讲，我们做这个行业是做直销，我们有时候我们要做到比较圆滑。他跟我讲，我明白。他讲，比较圆滑。所以当他讲他能够圆滑，但是我看他的举动一点都不圆滑。 所以很快，这一个人就进来了我们 business development， 也很快他来了菲律宾，也很快我看到他的改变。很快在 business development 里面，他的上任呢做得很好了，然后老板就出多一个 department， 那个叫 training department， 所以 training department 也是我们 take 单，跟 Yan 跟 James， 所以当他进到去training department， 我就看这一个人，我就问我自己本身，他能不能够很快的速度把老板的课程3天背进去里面？我以为他不快，为什么不快？因为他不懂华语，也不很了解华语。因为我认识他那个时候，他跟我讲华语他一点点，所以我就问我自己本身，这一个人能不能够速度很快的把他3天课程背进去里面？但是很快的就过了1个月，很快了就过了2个月，然后我再见这一个人，然后给我发现到，当他要做一个事情那个时候，他不可能做不到。当他委任一个事情那时候，他什么事情都能够做得到，不管他懂还是不懂。所以我觉得这个年轻人很棒，很厉害。我们首先要给 James 一个掌声来。所以今天要介绍这一个人，你问我用什么语言来介绍这一个人？我觉得25岁用5年能够学会一个行业，还是做得很棒。你问我自己本身25岁那时候我做了什么？25岁那时候我做了很多事情，但是很多事情就做得没有这个人这么好。所以今天我也要介绍这一个人，今天也是我们立位的其中一个老师，也是我们的刚刚成为我们的总经理，他也成为了菲律宾的总经理。那个人是谁？那个人就是我们的 James， 我们邀请我们大会指挥James。
那我相信你们应该不允许我讲华语吧 ？So, good morning, everybody. To be very frank with you, standing on this stage at this moment, I don't know about everybody in this hall now. But let's think about it. I don't know if you feel proud or not. Do you feel proud? Yes. Because, why do I say this? It's because finally, you are able to get your own leadership training seminar in Philippines. And I think it should be a very, very happy thing. It should be something that should be celebrated. But of course, just now Dato' Kenny was talking about me, and he said that I'm a policeman. From head to the toe you look. Do you think I look like a police? You look at my shoes, it's so shiny, you know I'm a policeman already. But in these few years I've been in Riway, I definitely learned a lot. I have definitely improved a lot. But the biggest impact that it had on me is this environment. Do you agree with me? This environment is the cause of change of many, many people, including myself. And of course, in this environment, it's a very positive, very powerful environment. But the thing is, now if we are in this environment, are we able to cherish this environment? And if we are able to cherish this environment, definitely from this company, from this environment, we are able to change ourselves. Because I believe that Riway is a turning point in my life. It's a turning point in my life, and I don't think it's only in mine. I think it's a lot of people who are sitting here. Riway is also a big turning point in your life. But the thing is, Riway isn't here to make a singular change in our lives, but rather it is a pivot point to allow us to change our lives, to allow us to turn our lives around entirely. Do you agree with me? Just ask the people sitting in front. They will say yes. So, I remember roughly about 4 years ago. 4 years ago when I was appointed to come all the way to the Philippines to be in charge here. Just last time, when I was doing business development, every time I would think, wow, if I'm able to go to a country, if I'm able to go to somewhere new, how happy will I be? How proud will I be? Because definitely there are a lot of things to learn. So I remember Dato Kenny, he gave me a phone call. He said, next week, we are going to the Philippines. And then I remember flying all the way here, and we have to go to a hotel to set up the event room, a very small event room, bringing our own projector, bringing a whole big bag of marketing tools and going there. And I remember doing this for almost a year before the office was open. Let's think for a moment. Do you remember all these little events that were happening? Do you remember your first leaders training seminar? Yes. Do you remember the first leaders recognition night that happened in Philippines itself? If we think a little bit deeper, in actual fact, it is just merely about 3 to 4 years ago that this was happening. And in these 3 to 4 years, a lot of people have, because of this company, Riway, turned their lives around entirely. Some are driving big cars. Some are staying in big houses. Not only that, not only in these few aspects, in their family aspects, in the aspect of their financial, in the aspect of their thinking, a lot of things change. And I believe we need to give Riway a round of applause, really. So thinking about all these times until today, we should be very, very proud, because we have our own leadership training seminar again. I really need to give all of you a round of applause. So, the point of having a leadership training seminar is to learn. Am I right? It is to come and improve ourselves. Don't you think so? So if we want to learn, if we want to improve ourselves, we must be able to open up our minds. Open up our minds to the very maximum, so we are able to learn. Because the biggest problem with people today is not to learn, but to unlearn. What does it mean? It means to say, today if we are, the biggest trouble is not to learn something new. For example, if a little kid, he learn A to Z. After that, you go to elementary school, you go to high school, you learn a little bit more advanced science or physics or maths. But the thing is, the biggest trouble is we are not able to unlearn. We are not able to empty ourselves. We are not able to empty our mind. Once if this cup is full, it's impossible, practically impossible for you to pour more water into this cup. Am I right? So today I hope everybody here, I believe some have flown to Manila, some have taken a bus, some have taken a jeepney, some have driven here. Anybody swim here? But definitely, there is a way that you use to come all the way to this event hall. Am I right? Now, that is how you are coming. But what is more important is why you are coming. If you know the why, then how you are going to do it, do you think it's important already? If you know, I want to come here, I want to learn something new, I want to be able to change myself. No matter whether you run here, you walk here, you cycle here, you take a helicopter here, or you even swim here. It's not important because we know why we are here. So do you know why you are here? Yeah, very good. So I'm the conductor of today's seminar, so I'm not the main speaker. Today's main speaker are three very, very powerful, in my opinion, very, very powerful people. And I have a few experiences with these few people, but this first speaker, I remember about 2 years ago, I was in an event in leaders sharing in the office. And I remember seeing this young lady. And this young lady, when she was sitting there, I realized she kept giving me a lot of energy. She kept giving me a lot of positivity. Why? Because when I asked a question, she said, yes, yes. And every time when she said yes, I would take notice of her. I would look at her. I was like, wow, this person, just her answer alone, just her vibe, you can feel this person is already very positive. And I remember we had our first, she was going to her first leaders recognition night. And that was at the end of the month. And at the start of the month, I think she achieved a 1 star. But that was just the month that she just entered Riway. And that first week she achieved 1 star, she did ask, hey, am I able to be recognized at this leaders recognition night in Taiwan? So at that point in time, because of her positivity, because of her, you can feel the from her. I think we will try to help you, but I cannot guarantee. And in just another week, she became a 2 star. And before she attended this leaders recognition night, less than a month, she got recognized as a 3 star. It's very, very amazing. And the thing is, even until today, the kind of fire, the kind of desire within her is still burning. Because the most importantly, in this in this field of work, in multi-level marketing, in network marketing, we all have a fire. And this fire, once it disappears, it's very hard for us to fire it up again. But I've never seen a fire greater than this next person who's going to share with us. She is none other than our Team Elite Phoenix, Jeddah Lyn Monte. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning! Wala na po bang ilalakas? Good morning! Magandang umaga! Maayong buntag! Naimbag nga bigat kada kayo amin! Ni hao! Ni hao! Grabe po. I've never been this nervous all throughout my life, ladies and gentlemen, but this point. I am so thankful and honored with Riway International. Could you please give everybody who prepared this big event a round of applause? And also, can you please give a round of applause to all the elite leaders who are standing in front of you or sitting in front of you? And to all the elites, can you please give a round of applause to all the people seated at the back? Thank you po for coming. Pwede po bang makahirit ng sigaw ng mga tao sa Mindanao? Visayas! Grabe. Luzon! Yun. At sa lahat po, isang sigaw lang, isang sigaw lang. Okay. Kabado po ako, hingi ko ako ng konting sigaw kasi medyo, talagang di medyo. Yung kaba ko po, lagpas po hanggang ulo ko. Ako po ay 4 feet 11 inches, pero po yung kaba ko hanggang 6 feet. And currently, I was given the topic, how long? The word is how long. In Tagalog, gaano? Ulitin nyo nga po, gaano? And I was thinking of all the topics that was given to me, why is it the word how long? It could be my journey in Riway, it could be all about the product, how I was able to know about Riway. Alam po, ang dami-dami pong pwedeng topic. Pero bakit po yung topic na binigay sa akin is gaano katagal? Di po ba? When we speak about how long, we talk about time or measurement. And it tests our patience. And a lot of us, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, am I talking to leaders this moment? Leaders. Mahina. Leaders. Yes. So, at this very moment, I'll be sharing to you some important keynotes that would actually build the whole topic, how long? And let me start with you with my story with Riway. I believe most of you have heard my story many times already. Some of you might have watched my video in YouTube when I was wearing the blue collared shirt. Have you seen that? The question, is there any reverse aging? Bumata po ba mukha ko? Did my age reverse? Yes. Because that's how powerful Portier is. But before that, when we ask the question, how long, it will be better for me to start with, how did you started? Kailangan po merong una muna, bago yung process, and then bago yung ending. Tama po. When we write a sentence, we start first with the subject or a certain terminology, then we ended up with what mark? It's a period. But ladies and gentlemen, I will share to you my humble start, when it was just an afternoon wherein Tita Beth Montero, could you please give her a round of applause? When she was able to send a message asking me for a dinner at SM Aura. And to be honest with you, she has been the mother who's been with me during the time before po I gave birth to my daughter. Now that time I'm really suffering. I'm so depressed and I'm so down because I'm sick. I have pains all over my body. I don't have any helpers. And then financially, I'm not good. So kung ikaw po, may sakit ka ngayon, if currently you are sick, you are financially not stable, I'm telling you, you belong to Riway. You belong to Riway. Because Riway didn't ask for rich people. When Riway came into my life, I am at the bottom rock. But little did I know, God sent me an angel in the form of Tita Beth Montero to touch my life and turn my life all around. You might have money, but if there's one thing common to all of us is that we never lose hope. That simple spark of hope could change your life. That simple spark of hope can push you forward, can keep you breathing, can keep you waking up in the morning. And during that dinner, when I am with my daughter and my son, and I noticed some changes with Tita Beth because she's suffering from an illness, and that's cancer. And after she took Portier, she got better. I didn't have any OPP that time, but one thing's for sure, I saw Tita Beth got better. Now, the person who invited you here, I believe, used Portier, right? Tama po ba? Kinidnap po ba kayo? Are you being kidnapped? Maybe to some, yes, but I'm telling you, that is the best kidnap in the world because you will become millionaires. Is that right? Nagpa-kidnap ka na, nilibre ka pa ng pagkain, ibang klase po yun. San ka pa, di po ba? But then, when I saw and I took Portier, even though I don't have money, I was given few capsules of Tita Beth. And when I tasted Portier, I noticed some changes inside my body. Alam niyo po kung sa addiction, ibang klase ang Portier. Because you wanted to take it. You wanted to finish the 6 months therapy because you know the product is so effective. So effective. And I'm not gonna ask you this morning who among you have took Portier or not. But I tell you, you are here because you know that the product is so powerful. Is it so powerful? Nakalimutan ko po pagiging nurse ko. Kasi at that time, I remember one thing, I want to be better. Because if I am okay physically, I believe that I could have several jobs, and I could go back to work. I could do whatever I am supposed to be doing, and also as a mother. And lo and behold, nagawan po ng paraan. Wala po akong pera. Alam po ni Tita Beth, wala akong pera na pambili ng Portier. Pero sabi nila, you know, your faith can move mountains. Kaya nakita niyo po yung Faith Can Move Mountains, the cover is faith. Have you seen that? Have you seen that? Could you please give Faith a round of applause? I don't have money. And I believe when Portier was asked to you, all of us has the same question, has the same answer. And the same question, bakit ang mahal? It's expensive. Naku, paano yan? Wala na akong pera. Naubos na lahat sa gamutan ko. Is that right? Most of us, we're gonna share the same experience that why is it Portier knocked on us at the wrong timing where we doesn't have anything. But do not underestimate God. And I remember what Tito Rex told me, Rex Bugkalaw, I don't know if he's here, but could you please give him a round of applause? During the speakership, he said, what could you say that is impossible is actually possible because everything can be found inside you. Pakiulit nga po, inside you, inside me. Everything's inside me. Tinignan ko po lahat ng gamit ko, ultimo ibenta ko, wala na po ako maibibenta. But then, somebody lend money. Sino pong kaya magpahiram ng 125,000 2 years ago? Wala pong kayang magpahiram. Even nga po 100 pesos, nobody would allow you to have 100 pesos. Minsan po nag-aaway pa, tama? But you know, what is so astonishing is that the impossibilities can become possibles. It depends upon what you think and what you put inside you. You want it so bad? Do you really want it so bad? Then you will get it. Until I've met Mr. Raymond Thong, could you please give him a round of applause and the whole family? Share lang po ko ng konti. And as a nurse, ladies and gentlemen, and as what Mr. James Chong had said, you have to empty your cup. And that time, that is the only time that I've learned what the potential of this product can do. Wala pong OPP akong inatendan. I don't have any OPPs I've attended. There's no formal presentations, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing is for sure, I saw Tita Beth got better. The person who invited you a few years back, or maybe 2 years ago, these people got better. And no one can question your testimony, even the government, because that's working inside you. The product worked on you. Is there somebody who can question you on that matter? None. Wala pong makakakontest dyan. Kaya po tingnan nyo, ang dami-dami po natin ngayon. Tingnan nyo po kaliwat kanan. If you were a first-timer here and it's your first time to attend, look at the people wearing coat. Because these people are committed not only to become better, they committed to change people's lives. And that same day, ladies and gentlemen, changed my life. A 20-year-old and a 21-year-old started to teach me how to present Portier. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a nurse. I'm an air ambulance nurse. Alam ko po familiar kayo sa rescue, sa ER, ako po air ambulance. I finished my master's degree. I finished a lot of degree from scuba diving, photography, name it po, I have it. Because being a single parent, you have to be what? A jack of all trade. Palitan ko po, I'm a Jed of all trade. That's a single parent. That time, I put my humility, my humbleness at the bottom part Because I believe if these two people with the name of Theodore Thong and Christabel was able to change their lives, kumikita po sila ako hindi. Ano pong dapat malaman ko with per year? And so, the story happens. And I believe Mr. James Chong was able to narrate to you how I started. But now, I'm gonna share to you the process. Is it okay? Is it okay? Bigyan niyo po ng konting feeling. Is it okay? Alright, let me start with the first one. Who among you here has difficulty inviting people? Raise your hand with full honesty. Grabe. Mahirap po mag-imbita, tama? Mahirap. And that is the first part. I cannot invite. Number one. Jot it down in your notes. Number one is, I cannot invite or cannot invite. When you say can and not, the difference is only 3 letters. Can and not. Mamili ka, Coke and can o peanut. Coke and can na lang, di ba? Joke lang po, pinapatawa ko lang kayo. Okay, so the difference between the two words is that it was separated by a not. Means you cannot push through. But can I share to you the strength of Portier? Is it okay? We know that Portier, for me and to all of us, it's actually the top 1 supplement in the world right now. Please give yourself a round of applause. When I was able to hold the product of Portier that time, just holding the bottle po, alam po nila yan sa opisina. Ang sabi ko po kagad, this product will change my life. Because I've never seen a product. A lot of product and supplements in the world right now are flocking in and out of the markets, even from the Western countries to Eastern, right? But what makes our product so unique is because of the word live cell. Sabi mo sa katabi mo, buhay na cell. Buhay. When you say there is life in it, meaning, para po ipasok sa capsule yan, it must be a high-end technology. Because ladies and gentlemen, Riway is not only a network marketing company, but our company is a biotechnology company. We never started with 6th edition right away. We started with the 1st edition, 2nd edition, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and currently we are in the 6th edition. Have you seen the trend of development? Of investing on making the product work more effective than what it was a few years ago. And I believe most of you have tasted Portier 6, right? Isang capsule pa lang po, totoo lang, marami na pong pagbabago. Magjo-joke lang po ako ha, okay lang? There was somebody who took 1 capsule of Portier, and he was already around 75. And he's suffering from diabetes, and haven't seen his best friend for more than 20 years. Hindi nyo naiintindihan. Okay lang po yan. Parental guidance is recommended. After 1 capsule, that man woke up, and he was shocked. And the wife was shocked. Jeddah, bakit? Mike, ano nangyari? Sabi ni Mrs., may tumusok. In English, somebody injected me. Yon. Just 1 capsule, ladies and gentlemen. Please give Portier a round of applause. Natawa na po kayo, no? Kasi kanina medyo serious. Lagalawain ka ng konti. And then, there was a difference between high-priced and expensive. Riway, to all of us, when we started, we say that the product was expensive. Jeddah, ang mahal. Pero sa totoo lang po, hindi. Portier is just high-priced. When you say expensive, there is a comparison between 2 products. Like for example, if we compare the price of the bags of Hermes versus Louis Vuitton, that there's a difference, right? Which is more expensive, an Hermes or an LV? Hermes. But can you say any product can we equate with Portier? Meron po ba? Meron po ba? Wala. Ano sinasabi niyo pong mas mahal ang Portier? No. Because there's no product as effective and cost-efficient as Portier. Palakpakan po ninyo. And what else did I've learned? Kapag daw po ang product may branding, kahit hindi mo ibenta, automatically it will auto-run. What will I say about the auto-run? Can an LV be sold by a mute person in a shop? Kaya po bang ibenta ng PP ang LV? Kaya po ba? Yes. Because when we go to the LV store, the person already know what he wanted and what she wanted, and will just show it to the mute. And then the mute will check, and then show with the finger. Then he said, what? Is it? Then, they will already buy LV. But look at Portier. Most of you are even sick. But why is it that the product can sell on its own? Most of you ladies and gentlemen who are here are not even sellers. We're not even in the marketing industry. But why is it that the repeat sales of Portier was able to sell 10 million bottles in the span of 6 months? Grabe po ang hina ng palakpak na yan. Mas malakas pa dapat. Grabe po. And the good thing about Portier is that it's only one single product for the past 10 years. I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I love network marketing industry. Because network marketing industry can make you the best of who you are. This is the only industry na wala pong mentality. I don't want to say crab. Because crab mentality, ladies and gentlemen, is a very good attitude. Alam niyo po ba yon? This industry makes you the best of who you are. And what's good thing about Riway is that Riway is able to carry on one product. And that's Portier Placenta for the past 10 years. Because if this is not effective in the first place, thank you po, please give it a round of applause. Because if this product is not effective, dapat po, 3 years ago, wala na pong Riway. Tama po ba mali? Pero bakit tayo dumadami? Before we only have Manila office. And then, congratulations, we have the Davao office. And then soon, what are the 2 offices? Cebu and Iloilo. Grabe po. The question is, how many people are in the Philippines? We're 110 million. And if people thought we're only about 9 branches in Asia, nagkakamali po kayo. You're all wrong. In Malaysia alone, with 30 million people, there are actually 15 branches of Riway. How about in our country, 110 million? 70 offices or branches? Luzon, hindi po ba kayo na-challenge? Luzon! Luzon! Meaning the company is growing big. The company is solidly forming its foundation. And take note, the more offices are opened, the more strength it is for Riway and to all of us that we can borrow. Grabe po, pinapalakpakan yan. And I've never seen a president of a company, for the first time I've seen Riway, who are so focused with the distributors. And I've never seen a company with a good heart, and that is Riway. And that's where you all are. That's where we all are. Palakpakan po ninyo ang Riway. Now I've told you the strength of Portier. Kaya nga po pati FDA, hinabol tayo. Tama po? Nabasa niyo yun? Ang dami po araw-araw, Jeddah, pati Dubai. Pero sabi ko po, whenever you see this news, read. Read. Hindi porket nakita nyo lang yung tagline na portier, negative kagad dun, you read. A lot of us just see, but never read. Alam niyo po, when I read the whole article, mas na-excite po ako. Kasi po reader ako, I'll be honest po, I'm a good reader. Whenever there's a news passed on to you, read it very carefully. Because what does it say? A lot of people, even the conventional medicine, even the current practice, medyo po naaalarma. Kasi kada daw po we post something on Facebook and YouTube is always portier placenta. Hindi nakakalakad, hindi nakakakita na. May cancer dati ngayon, cancer-free. Diabetic dati ngayon, hindi na diabetic. Grabe. And take note, whenever we post something on Facebook, is there a before and after picture? Is there a before and after laboratory? Is there a testimony told by somebody, recorded? Grabe. And that is the greatest arm we have each and every time we do OPP, ladies and gentlemen. And the strength of portier lies is because you yourself used it. Now, ibabalik ko po sa number 1 na topic. Ano po yon? Cannot invite. Ngayon, ba't hindi ka po maka-invite? The big question is, have you tried portier? Because what makes my mouth unstoppable when I've seen portier is I already start writing down and started calling the people who I know needs the product. Ewan ko po kung nandito ngayon si Tita Effie Galang, isa po siya sa sobrang kinulit ko. Cannot invite, I'm so sorry po. Yung mukha ko sobrang kapal. Kasi bakit? I got better. And there was a Bible verse stated that, do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in your power to do it. Now, if you become better, can you become secretive about it? No. You have to share it because you don't know. Maybe your neighbor or person in your family is suffering from a deadly disease. Pero because nahihiya ka and you're too shy to share it, you started to shut your mouth. Bakit po? Ladies and gentlemen, portier is not only the secret of the rich and the famous. That is a strength we borrowed 100 years ago. That even Cleopatra is taking stem cells. Dinidip lang po niya yung mouse sa wine, then tinitake niya. Lunok. That's how Cleopatra did it before Christ. Imagine, everybody has been practicing stem cells. And what you have right now is a very promised technology. Is there anybody who can question technology? No one. Dati po ang cellphone pangkaskas ng yelo, yung laki, di ba? Ngayon po ang cellphone, paliit ng paliit. Dati po yung matatanda. Mag-dial po sa Nokia, hirap na hirap. Ang matatanda ngayon, malupit, nagki-Candy Crush pa. Nag-Facebook. At take note, marunong pa mag-selfie. Ganun po kalupit ang technology. Now, can you question that? Can we question technology? No. Whether we like it or not, the whole world will move. Ang tanong, makakasabay ka ba? And a lot of you might ask, how come it's a live cell inside a capsule? Huwag niyo na pong tanungin yan. Kung ang chemo nga po nasa capsule na eh. Kung ang bahay po dati, palakihan. Ngayon, the houses, mas gusto na nilang maliliit yung bahay. Napansin niyo po? The more handy it is, the more convenient it is, the better. And one thing po, I love portier so much, is these two verses. The first one is targeted, and the second one is comprehensive. The product is not a targeted type of product or supplement. Our product po is comprehensive or holistic. Meaning, when you say targeted, may sakit ka sa puso mo, kailangan mo ng fish oil, correct? Kailangan mo ng kokinon. Kailangan marami kang supplement for the heart. But then, because you're taking maintenance medication, you have to take care also of your liver and kidney. So, you need to take a supplement for your kidney and your liver, correct? And then because it's currently the season of virus like measles, we need to take what? Vitamin C. Sino po ang kayang lumunok ng isang bowl ng supplement sa isang araw versus 4-tier na iisa lang? Ngayon po ba nakita nyo na nakikita ko? Nakikita nyo na po nakikita ko? At yan ang nakita ko 2 years ago. Naewan ko nga ba totoo po yan? I'm so excited po parati. Kanina po patulong-talong kami, hindi namin alam kung anong gagawin namin mga speakers. But one thing is for sure, this is the moment when we have to re-educate ourselves and put back the fire. Put back the fire. Sabi ko nga, Lord, ba't ako phoenix? Siguro nga, kasi ang phoenix nasusunog, di ba? Tapos namamatay, tapos nare-reborn again, mas malakas. Tama po? Ay, hindi nyo alam, okay lang po, okay lang. I-research nyo po yan. Okay po. So the second one is we started to invite. Why? We started to get out of our comfort zone. Ngayon po ba, pag tinanong ko kayo, makaka-invite na ba kayo? Nakita nyo na ba yung nakita ko? Now, can you invite? Yes. But the second process that we have to undergo is what? Invite, but don't attend. Naku po. Invite, but don't attend. A lot of people invite, but through media. Sending invitations, sending messages. Alam niyo po, kaya si Tita Effie, napa-oo ko. Hindi ko po siya in-invite sa Facebook. Tinawagan ko. Tita, punta ka na sa Club Filipino. Naku, Jeddah, ano na naman company yan? Ano naman, product na naman yan. Di ba? Tama pa, di ba? Tita, naku tita, pag di mo to nakita, magkakalimutan na tayo. Naku, pumunta po si Tita Effie. Now, what's with it? What's with it why people come? It's because we forgot to call. We forgot to invite the people personally. We lose that humanistic touch because of technology. Tama po ba? Sis, punta ka. Mare, come. I'm inviting you. I'll sending, ang ganda ng invitation namin. Yun lang. We lost the humanistic touch of inviting people. When it's our birthday party, when we invite, we go directly to the person we wanted to invite and give the invitation. Di pa po ba nakakataas ng ego para sa ini-invite? Naranasan niyo na po. Have you ever experienced being invited personally for an event? What if Mr. Lim Bunhong will knock on your door and invite you to go to the OPP? Wow! The question is, don't you know that the people who are wearing coat is a part of Mr. Lim Bunhong? And whenever we go to the house of the people we invite, we take part of Mr. Lim Bunhong with us. Knocking on your door. Because whenever a person in coat go to your house and invite you, we share hope. May kikwento po ako sa inyo, okay lang ulit? Minsan po, may mga nakakot, naglalakad sa bukid na downline ko po. My best friend Patrick. He went to yung bukid ba yun, medyo desente ang damit. Sabi daw po nung pamilya in Danipahat, Sir, grabe naman, nakakot and tie yung papasok dito. Ang bahay namin, kubo lang. Pero alam niyo po, the wife who was sick suddenly stood up and said, Sir, it's the first time I saw an angel in coat. Pinapalakpakan po yan. We lost the touch, ladies and gentlemen. We rely on social media that we forget the essence of inviting is all about excitement. Sabi nga po, excitement. Pakiramdam nga ulit, excitement. Imagine mo, makukuha mo na 1 million mo dahil, 10 million mo dahil nanalo ka sa loto. Pakipikit nga po yung mata, excitement. Isa po, try lang natin. Wala pong KJ, okay lang? Leaders mo ba? Pikit nyo lang. 10 million, excitement. Grabe. Kita niyo po yung mukha ko, no? Grabe po ba? Nawala. Nawala po ba? Now it's about time to get out of it and bring back the old way of inviting. Because the more you invite, the more chances of winning over poverty and people to have a change in life. The third one. Nasagot ko na po yung una. Ano po yung una? Cannot invite. Second, invite but don't come. Do you think pag binisita mo, pupunta? Pwede po bang itry? Itry natin. 2 buwan bago mag-recognition night. I-try natin ngayon, ibalik natin yung yung unang-una. Paano po ba ang Pilipino dati, di ba? Tama po, yun po yung pagkakaiba. And the third one is, the people come, so they come but don't listen. They come but don't listen. When they attend OPP, which is the basic of presenting Riway and Portier to the people, always ensure that you know your main goal. And what is our main goal? We invite them to share hope, to see hope, and understand that we're not actually selling to them, but we are sharing to them a current breakthrough in medicine that would actually change their lives. That is our main goal. But a lot of the leaders, ladies and gentlemen, whenever an invitee walk in the door, they see a peso sign walking. Riway po is not about earning money alone, but it causes you to change not only the person or the individual's life, but the whole lives of the people below that person. When that person come in to an OPP, please naman po, silbihan nyo naman, bigyan nyo ng VIP treatment. Okay lang po ba yon? Tita, upo kayo dito, paramdam nyo naman yung culture. And this is what Riway culture is letting us feel because we have the social values and we have family values inside of us. Paramdam nyo naman how welcome they are. And as a leader, stop sending messages when the OPP is starting. Marami pong leader, when the OPP started, nawawala po si leader. Kasi may paparating pa daw late. So yung guest, makikinig po ba? Hindi. Naintindihan niyo po? Nagme-message ka, saglit may paparating pa. Oo, saglit lang. Ayun, CR, doon lang sa gilid. Entertain them with utmost care. Because take note, mahirap pong magpapupunta ng tao sa presentation. And that person gave their time for you. Just 1 hour of their life passed away. Please, wag mo pong bitawan. Wag mong bitawan, wag mong aksayin yung 1 oras. Kasi kada 1 minuto po o segundo, that's 1 second of their life that they're losing. Wag nyo pong hayaang umalis sila na di nila naiintindihan. Yung iba po kasi, after ng OPP, marketing plan kaagad. Tama po, mali. Ako po, tinatamaan din tayo dyan. Minsan po, marketing plan. No, it's not. They're not interested with the marketing plan. Alam nyo, may kikwento po ako sa inyo. Meron pong guest kami dati. Alam nyo po, lahat na ng OPP, mahigit po siguro 100 ang inatendan niya. I'm not gonna drop in the name. Sabi ko, Diyos ko, Panginoon ko, yung kinain nga niya kasing tumbas na ng 1 set. Sa dami. Hindi talaga pumapasok. Not even getting in with Riway. You know, she keeps coming and then she have many guests, but she never even intended to join. But I am shocked. On the 6th month, she keep on repeating on coming back. She was able to buy more than 12 sets for the family. Actually, I questioned already the integrity. Why is it that the person keep on coming back? But little did I know, the person who's been coming in is not really listening. She wasn't able to commit yet because she has difficulty hearing. Second, what she was so amazed is that every week, different leaders starts to hold the microphone. Si leader na lang lagi ang speaker. Siya na lang lagi ang MC, presentation, siya pa ang testimony, siya pa closing. Ang lupit. But this client, or this leader of mine, sabi niya, Jed, first time kong nakita that every week, your leader starts to stand up and do presentation. And then, different testimony every week. Alam niyo po, yun po pala si God, pine-prepare lang siya, pati pera niya. Kasi pula po, pag inilabas niya lahat, grabe, 12 sets, palakpakan po ninyo. Kaya do not underestimate. Please give care. Pwede po ba pakilagyan ng TLC? You know what TLC is? Tender, loving care. Ang Pilipino po are known to be hospitable people. Ilabas po natin yon. Okay po ba? So do you think hindi siya makikinig? Pag binigyan mo ng TLC, makikinig yan, andyan na, nakaupo na, nakidnap mo na, hindi nalalabas yan. Inanduduha mo na yung pinto. Okay? Now let me go to the first one again po. Don't invite or cannot invite. Second, invite but don't come. Number 3, come but don't listen. Number 4, listen but don't do. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, once they come in with Riway, we as leaders must explain to them the advantage of their accounts right away. They have to take hold of their passwords, Riway wallets, and we have to explain to them how to do Riway. Hindi po tayo mismo ang lahat ng gagawa para sa kanila. Partnership po ito. But for the first few weeks, I understand, mag-drawing po kayo sa papel ninyo ng pyramid. Ganyan pyramid. Ang taray, no? Si Jeddah, pasensya na po, wala akong presentation. Kasi iba po pag nakafocus kayo sa mukha ko, di ba? Okay po ba yon? Yes. Palakpakan nyo naman. Reverse aging, oh. Tumataba pa lalo. So, pyramid. The first part, which is the biggest part or the biggest cut, is dependence. So initially, for the first few weeks, your leaders or your distributors will be dependent on you, correct? But then, the second ladder is when they started to become independent. Say independent. In Riway, the faster you become independent and understand the industry you're going in, understand the Riway system and culture, that's the faster you can earn your millions. Naku po, biglang, ano daw, milyon? Totoo ba yung milyon? Totoo po ba? Ako po, hindi ko rin inaasam-asam na ang Riway kaya kang pakitain ng ganun. The good thing about Riway is Riway has a system. Not only it got a good product, but it got a perfect system that you can leverage on, and that is duplication. Saan ka po nakakita? Nung school natin, pag nangopya, bagsak, patay. Tama po? Bagsak eh. Anak, nangopya ka na naman. Asan ko nasa, prefect of discipline ba yun? Tatawag ang magulang. Pero dito po sa Riway, saan ka nakakita? Mangopya ka, galingan mo. And I'm telling you, wala pong una, walang huli. Magaling kang mangopya? You are good at copying people. No more question. You copy the right system. You copy how the way it's being done. You started holding the microphone. Why? Because when Coach Raymond told me, Jeddah, you hold the microphone if you earn your first 100,000. True enough, totoo po. In first week, I earned my first 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, I earned my first 100,000. Hold the microphone. Pakiramdaman nyo po. Kasi po, bakit totoo? Once you become a speaker, the whole world will change on you. Because people will look up to you. Kailangan maging ganyan, kailangan makopya ko siya, kailangan kopyahin ko siya. Kaya po kayong nakatingin sa akin ngayon, darating po yung time nandito rin kayo. Hindi po habang buhay nandiyan kayo, nandito kayo. Totoo po yan. Nagigets niyo po? So how can we encourage them to do? Become an example as a mentor. Because the least up, pinakatuktok po ng pyramid, is the word interdependence. It doesn't mean you reach your goal, you become great in it. didetach ka na. No. It's an interdependence. We borrow strength from each and every one of us. And if there's something wrong, go back. Teka, oo nga, no? Kulang, balik ulit tayo. Okay po ba yon? So, ulitin ko po, una, cannot invite. Cannot pa rin ba? Can invite na. Can invite? Tama? Okay. Second is what? Invite but don't come. Second, they come but they don't listen. Then, they listen but they don't do. Let me go to the fifth one. They do but there's no success. Or they don't succeed. A lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, had been in here but there's no production. Tama po ba? Nakaka-relate? The question is, every OPP po ba? O balikan natin, did you ever set a goal for yourself and for your team? Wala kang nararating kasi hindi mo alam kung ano ang gusto mo. You are not into succeeding. You're not into success because you don't even know where or what you really wanted. Kung gusto mo makabayad lang ng utang, makakabayad ka lang ng utang. But what if I'll change your mindset? What if hindi lang utang? What if mababago pa buhay mo? Hindi mo mapupagagawin ito. But you have to start with a goal. Ano po bang gusto ko ngayong buwan na to? You need to have a short-term goal and a long-term goal. Okay, mag-monosaurus ako. Then, monosaurus ulit next month. Then, monosaurus ako. Then, what are your objectives? Then, I will look at my account. I'll see the people who are running also. I will ask my leaders, ano po bang kaya nila? And make sure that when you set a goal, it should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bounded. Ulitin ko po, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bounded. Yung matatanda po, huwag nyo na pong isulat, okay lang. Sa nursing po kasi, we need to have a goal and should be smart. Ang tawag dyan, SMART, smart. Are you working smart? Every OPP that we do, make sure there was what? There must be a outcome. Naka-apat na OPP ka na sa isang buwan, walang outcome, meaning there is something wrong with your process. So you have to go back. Mukhang mali yata yung crowd na pinepresentahan ko. Bakit ang daming kumakain? Ang mamahal pa. Pero bakit walang nag-iin? Anong kulang? Nakaka-relate po? And take note, ladies and gentlemen, feeding, anytime money comes out to you, this is industry, this is business, dapat po may bumabalik. Pag wala, magtanong ka na, mukhang mag-isa lang yata talaga ako, saan ako nagkulang? Because you know, ladies and gentlemen, as leaders, sabi nga po nila, Jeddah, ba't di ka nakakatulog sa gabi? Hindi ako nakakatulog kasi yung leader ko hindi pa 1-star. Yung leader ko hindi pa 2-star, ano pang kulang? Tapos tuwing end of the month, tsaka po naggagahol ng time. Tama po ba? And then kapag may promo, tsaka lang nagtatrabaho. Tama po? Correct? Sino nagalit dito because of the promo was gone a few weeks ago? Grabe, para po kung call center, lahat ng phone ko nagre-ring. Jeddah, nakapila na ako. Tita, sinabi ko sa inyo, reading is essential. Nakalagay doon, while stocks last. And as a leader, ladies and gentlemen, you have to read rightly. Marami pong katok-tok sa langit ha, maraming tinamaan dyan. This oras po ng gabi, nagbalik po ako, mahigit 5 milyon. I regret. Sorry tita, pasensya na po, hindi po kayo umabot. Jeddah, ba't ganyan naman? Akala ko ba nireserve ko ng ganyan. Tita, wala pong reservation. No money, no entry. Tama po ba? Huwag niyo naman pong pasakitin ang ulo ng mga upline. Leaders, this is your responsibility. Why we are here is to guide all of you. Do it or not, it's up to you. Andito lang po kami to guide you. Yung mga nasa harap ninyo, nasa gilid ninyo, nagga-guide po lahat yan. Pag di mo po ginawa, nasa sayo pa rin po ang desisyon. You don't succeed, it's because you don't work much. You haven't worked enough. Or you didn't work smart. Tama po ba? That's why there's no success. Now, after doing but there's no success, there are people who succeed but not long-term. O, pang ilang number na po tayo? Sige nga, kung nakikinig kayo. Number? Wala. Number 6. Yan. Titisya ko lang po kung okay kayo. Succeed, but not long-term. Ano po yung number 1 ulit? Cannot invite. Second is? Invite, but don't come. Next, come, but not listen. And then, listen, but don't do. Then do, but don't succeed, or there's no success. Number 6 is? Succeed, but not long-term. There was a good leader of mine, one of the best leaders I have. She's just around 4 months in this industry, and then she wanted to buy a car. Anong car gusto mo? Kala ko Vios. Ma'am Jeddah, copy upline, Montero Sport White. Wow. And she has a down payment to buy. Alam niyo po, masakit sa isang leader. It's painful for us leader to meddle with the dream of the people below us. Is that right? Is that right? But that night, I cannot sleep. It's because I love my leader so much that I want her first to be planted, and her foundation must be so strong. Because remember, why we do Riway is because we wanted this industry to be a long-term business to all of us. Tama po ba? Yes. I told her, "Dear, I'm so sorry. Is it okay if you can postpone the car?" Alam niyo po, lahat na po ng salita pwede niyang ibigay just to defend. Defend herself that she really wanted it. Because why? She's so tired, and it's difficult for them to go from one place to another, especially if you're maximizing Luzon. Because in Luzon, we don't have planes. We have what? Buses and vehicles, right? Public or private cars. And it's difficult for her and her family. And sabi ko, ako baka mabigla masalamig yung salita. Shh, tikom. Dear, during my first few months in Riway, I could already buy a car. Is that correct? Pero ang pinaka-the best po is that I enjoy the process of every pain. I enjoy the process of learning and unlearning. And I enjoy the process of committing mistake and getting back better. Alam niyo po, hindi ako natutuwa na may sasakyan ako ngayon. Hindi po ako ganun kasaya. Kasi sa akin nung una, ang pinaka-best kong vehicle are my shoes. These 2 shoes, ladies and gentlemen, are the first shoes I worn when I started Riway. Paki-close up nga po yung sapatos ko. Pakita nyo lang. Ukay-ukay yan, 250. Yan. Does it look elegant? I told my leader, yes, you can buy a car. It could give you strength. It could give the whole team strength. But take note, your foundation is not yet well built. And your whole team might shake. You might earn now, but long-term wise, it's not stable. Okay lang bang magtiis muna? Kasi bakit? Na-enjoy ko po yung pagtitiis. Sasakay po ako ng tricycle. Maglalakad ako 15 minutes walk to 20 from our place going there to where I will ride my tricycle. I remember Tito Rex Bugcalaw, we rode the tricycle before in cold. And my neighbors keep on telling to me that there was somebody who's selling vacuum cleaner, and that's me. When people in selling vacuum cleaner looks like this, right? Tama po ba? And then every day, I was bringing few sets of portier with me, and they're so heavy. I have my laptop. I have my projector. Bit-bit ko po yan. And alam niyo po, ang lagi kong sinasabi, alam ko magbabago buhay ko dito. Yang sapatos ko na yan, mapapalitan ng naturalizer. From Tita Beth again. Copy upline, di ba? Alam ko na itong paghihirap ko, may mga tao ako sa ilalim kong pagdadaanan din ang pinagdaanan ko at kapag nag-shortcut ako, hindi ko sila mararamdaman. Even though it's raining so hard, even though I walk in a path so rocky, I'm with these 2 shoes, ladies and gentlemen, and these 2 shoes never failed me because I enjoyed the process. There are some leaders who are giving excuses why they cannot make it. Ladies and gentlemen, because you don't have a nanny at home, you cannot do this. Noon po, kasama ko mga anak ko, bit-bit ko nag-OPP, salamat dahil sa kanila, napapain yung tao dahil sa awa. Don't you know that your excuse might be somebody's blessing for them? I didn't know that that hindrance before, yung hirap ko, meron po palang kapalit. Pero marami po sa atin, konting hirap lang, umaayaw na. Kaya minsan, alam niyo po, kung pwede lang pong ipakita yung pinagdaanan mo, yung may rewind po ba? Ganon, gagawin ko po. And that makes me so humble. Because I know how difficult it is. Grabe po, naiiyak ako, ayaw tumulo ng luha. Di ko alam saan yung tissue. May LTS. Some people come, some not. It's okay, because at this moment, it's not anymore your problem, it's theirs. I am humbled, my humble beginning, and by the process. And now, why is it that people said, minsan po natitiap kami, kahit daw po di na kami lumabas, we still earn. It's because the big question is, how did you really started? And were you able to give up on during the process? The test in this question lies on the process that you have. Hindi po madali, pero masarap pong namnamin. Alam niyo po, kada sasakay ako ng tricycle, naku, nakikita ko na yung Montero Sport ko, grabe puti, sasakay na ako. Pero ang totoo, hindi, tricycle lang. Pagsakay ko po sa tricycle, when I rode the tricycle, oh my gosh, malubak, it's okay. It's roughy road, 4x4. Grabe. I'm so excited that I'm so crazy, telling myself that everything is perfect, when in fact, in reality, it's not. I don't have electricity. I don't have water. I don't have ref. I don't have washing machine. And at times I don't have nanny, but I never let these excuses hinder me from my dreams. Because ladies and gentlemen, my dreams have been corrupted a long time ago. And this time I have to own my dreams. I have to own it. You have to own it. You have to own it. Whether or not you are old, you have to own it because you're still alive, because you haven't even maximized the potential God placed in your life. You are still alive because of that. Hanggat di mo natutumbok ang purpose mo sa buhay, wala ka pang karapatang mamatay. Tandaan mo yan. Kaya grabe po. Sasakay ako sa LRT, MRT. Alam niyo po, 4th year. I have the projector, I have my laptop. I was riding MRT, LRT, Shinkansen, MRT, Taiwan. What you call it? Fast train. I could go anywhere in Taiwan, in Hong Kong. Grabe, ang bilis. Kunwari lang po kahit hindi. I'm feeling everything. I ride the bus going to Pangasinan before and La Union because I have to divide my kids because nobody will look after them. I have to have my son sit in Dagupan City and I have to have my daughter sit in La Union because I was able to have my mom back from Dubai. And you know, the most exciting part is when you go to that place because you know you will see your loved ones. Is that right? But the most excruciating part of me during my run in Pavo is whenever the bus will turn around going back to Manila. That was the most painful part of me because I cannot see my kids again. Alam nyo, hindi ko po kondisyon ng Panginoon, ba't ko pinandaanan to? Pero sa totoo lang po, isa lang nga natuwa ako sa Panginoon. Pinanghawakan ko po yung sinabi niya. Lord, I will enjoy the whole platform I'm walking on right now is because you built it in the first place. Your success depends on how much you wanted to succeed. It depends how much more can you pay for your dreams. This is business. Dreams is business. You don't work it out, you will lose everything. You work it out, you will win, right? Is that right? We succeed and short term is because the way we think. There are actually two mindsets that we have. The first one is our mindset, our short-term mindset, wherein ang utak lang natin was to recruit, and not build. A lot of people just gave birth, but a lot of people doesn't know how to take care of the people they gave birth to. Marami po sa inyo ang galing mga anak, pero bibihira po yung marunong mag-alaga. Because the worst part and the most hardest part of this industry was building and helping and developing your leaders to grow. We have different mindsets, we have different backgrounds, cultures even divide us, but one thing is uniting us, it's the Riway's culture and the Riway's system. Sabi nga po, you do it right once, just once, and everything else will follow. Because what entails these sacrifices that we do and the system that we follow is the number 8, which is success is equivalent already to long-term. You want a long-term success? You want to have a long-term success, ladies and gentlemen? Naku, natulog na ba? Natulog na po? Luzon, you want a long-term success? Visayas, you want a long-term success? Mindanao, you want a long-term success? Do it right. Even it's hard, do it right. Kakahawak na po tayo ng pera, minsan ang sarap gastusin, do it right. Because somebody is looking at you, even no one is looking at you. Somebody on top is looking at everything that we do. We have to do it right. Just once. Just once. And I remember, I keep on hearing people, investments. Alam niyo po, takot na takot ako humawak ng investor. I'm afraid that I cannot give what I've promised to them. And it's hard for me. But one thing is for sure, if you're afraid, do not touch it. Because God gave you wisdom. You have to use it. If there is something you cannot control, do not do it. But do only the things you can control. Meron po ako narinig, mag-invest daw sa akin 25 million, hinimatay po ako, hindi ko kaya. I am telling you po, there are people. I said, I'm so sorry po. A lot of leaders fail. It's because they become the employee of their investors. Ako po, marami pong nagagalit sa akin na mga leaders ko at times. It's because my mouth is straightforward. Are you sure? Can you rotate? Are you sure? Did you teach? Because if you cannot handle it and you become the employee of your investors, I'm so sorry. You are not doing this industry. You are going back to being unemployment. I'm giving everybody a warning because Riway doesn't need investors. Because we are already the investors in Riway. We invested time and Riway is already rich. What they need are leaders who can stand up and show the culture, invite the values, and consider the 6 values we are placing on our left chest. Tandaan niyo po itong logo na to. Always keep this in mind. This will be a reminder to everyone. It's difficult to do things rightly, but do it once. Kahit po mahirap, I'm telling you, yung long-term success, yes, you will get that. That's passive income. That's passive income. You could sleep at night not burdened by anything. Why? Because you sleep, you do it right. Just once. Uulitin ko po, do it once. Meron po ako minsan, alam nyo, nagka-death threat ako, kaloka ba? I got death threat few weeks ago. Why? I corrected a leader. I corrected a leader. Even in the expense of my life and my family, I was threatened. But I stood up with the principles Riway taught me. My family values, my social values, right thinking, healthy lifestyle, financial values, and the most important one, which I really cannot give up, is my spiritual values. Leaders, we may commit mistakes along the road, but do not forget, there is a big room for chances. There is another room for chances. And this industry might be ask us, if we could see the system, simple lang po ang system ng Riway. First is we do retailing. What is retailing? We invite people to come. Ito po not really encapsulated by the word retail, means to sell. But we invite people to come. Let them see what's in Riway, what is per tier. It could be a career to some, and it could be a life-transforming event to somebody, or it could be a bullet to change their health, right? Is that correct? Whenever we have these people come in, we create sales. Correct? And in this sales is equivalent to what? Commission. And I've never seen a product that is autopilot. Paano po ba? Ano po ba yan? Auto-run, yes. Auto-run siya. Meaning, people's repeat sales is very high. Is that correct? Palakpakan po ninyo. Auto-sales. Auto-repeat sales. And second, when there's a retail, there should be what? Referral. Or we should have recruit. I don't want to say recruit because recruit is a very negative word, right? But we have to say it. Referrals or recruit. Why? In this referral or recruit, we started to get people to be on board. When you sign the distributor application form, you already committed not only to become a distributor, but you're actually applying yourself to become one of the leaders in this industry. And one of the leaders here in the world. You want that? Pagsulat nyo po dun, dapat may excitement. May iba po kasi nagsusulat lang, they just write. They didn't realize that once they write, it's not a distributor form, it's a distributor application form. That's when I realized a few weeks ago when I created this topic, I'm actually applying. When you apply, is there a requirement? Is there a requirement when you apply? Yes. And what is the application? You should be ready to become millionaires. Wow, parang ayaw nyo. Kaloka. You should be ready to become millionaires, and you should be ready to become leaders. You should be ready to become the changes this world needs. Because that form is subjected not to VAT, value-added tax, but that form is subjected to become responsible of your own self. Sabi nga po, you set a man right, the whole world will be right. According to Mr. Lim Boon Hong. And you know, recruiting is not easy. Because that's when the responsibility and accountability gets in. When people sign into you, there's a partnership. Marami pong tao along the way we fight, right? But the third one, the first is retail. The second is referrals or recruitment. And the third one is what? Retaining. The most difficult part, ladies and gentlemen, of this industry is retaining your people, retaining your team, retaining your leadership, retaining the building or the structure that you have. Ito po kayo na lang po sasagot. Ilan pong tao ang dumating sa ilalim ninyo? How many people came in under your umbrella? These people, should I say, who committed are qualified people to be with you. Tama po ba? Tama po? Are they qualified? Yes. Because currently you should be going to the church, it should be family day, but why is it that you spend it here? Because you know when you get out of this room, you will be a changed person. Palakpakan po ninyo, you will be a changed person. And I thought that the retaining part is only for us leaders. But can I show you a video of how Riway, Mr. Lim himself, retained his people? Sabi po, it's just a duplication, just a leverage. Now, can we watch this video?
Year 2019 will be a very important beginning year for Riway. The future of Riway in the coming year will start from the annual staff meeting of our company employees in January. This time, the location of the annual staff meeting, the company final decision was to go to South Korea, Seoul. Sanayo. 감사합니다요.
这个大门走进来的时候，我真的是吓了一跳。我在想，是不是飞马之夜所有的细节上的安排，真的让我感觉到说，就好像我们公司一些领导人付出很多代价，做了几千万业绩的人的那种晚宴。由此可见，就在公司里面，有人觉得这一群人很重要，才会有这样的一个结果。2019年将会是 Riway 的开始，那个开始呢，将会是从今天这里开始。过去的10年 ，Riway 为什么能够走来今天？绝对不是1、2个人的这样的功劳，绝对是一个团队，尤其是我们的一些高层领导人的一些付出。
我们一起睡猫觉，一起喵喵喵喵喵，在你面前撒个娇，还有喵喵喵喵喵，我的心脏蹦蹦跳，你留下你的坏笑，你不说爱我，我就喵喵喵。
我给他们多少钱，他们都不会想做，因为他们是领导人。不过他们做了，也只有一种人会让他们做这样的事情，就是自己人。你们都是自己人。
way of retaining people. That's how the president of the company, Mr. Lim Bunhong, honor the people, the operations, the different departments that we have, who's actually been assisting each and every one of us. Take note, not only every 8 hours to 9 hours a day, but 24/7. Palakpakan nga po natin silang lahat. Wala po bang ilalakas? Hindi po madali na mag-retain ng tao. Retaining people is the most difficult part of this industry. There are some leaders who are even telling that you just first started with your 2 to 3 legs, then suddenly your first and second leg will die. Is that right? And indeed it is true. Because this industry is all about, this industry is all about winning people. But sometimes, usually as leaders, we blame ourselves why some of our team dies. Is that right? Is that right? But I remember what Coach Raymond told me a few years back. He said, they must see what you saw. Ulitin ko po, they must see what you saw. Kung anong nakita mo, dapat makita nila. Because if they didn't see what you saw in this company, I'm telling you, they will die the natural death. Those people won't be with you. But you know, I was so amazed with Riway because till now, the people in them, the people in that company, not us leaders, but their employees are still intact till now. Please give them a round of applause. The company was able to showcase to us this leaders recognition night for us to see those people who deserve this platform to stand up on stage. Sino po mga naka-attend? Taas ang kamay. Ng Leaders Recognition Night. Sino po yung naka-attend na? Taas ang kamay. Marami na po sa atin. Kakaiba po ba yung pakiramdam? Iba po ba yung atmosphere? The atmosphere is different. I remember I've never experienced getting up on the stage. And it was my frustration during my college. When I was getting my diploma, I wasn't able to get it because my dad is late driving. He hasn't drove the Philippines for more than 10 years. And because Makati, most of the time, is a one-way traffic, we arrive really late. And for a daughter, and for a student, or for a graduate, not to get that diploma is that depressing. Tinibdib ko po. Pero hindi halata, andyan yung nanay ko po nakikinig. I didn't show it, but I hope if I finish some graduate schools, I could get again a diploma. But apparently, I wasn't able to get a diploma again. Grabe, hindi po ako sumisipot sa graduation. I never even attended the graduation. But I never expected that during the Leaders Recognition Night in Taiwan, I was facing with about 3,000 to 5,000 people clapping their hands, and I was able to get my pin as a 2-star that time. Grabe po. If you are old, you doesn't know how to step on this platform. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe by March, we will be double in size. And 70 to 80% will be recognized in this stage. Can you feel that? And I've never seen a company, aside from recognition, will offer these types of training, leadership training seminar or LTS, to equip each and every one of us to become great mentors and leaders of this industry. Alam niyo po, magbayad tayo minsan 20,000, 50,000 to attend different trainings. But you are also lucky because this is free. This is free. I've been sharing to some of my leaders a few years back, to attend a training seminar like this, we need to hit a minimum rank of Diamond 3-star. How hard it is? Madali po bang mag 3-star? Mahirap po. It's not easy. Even becoming one star is difficult, right? But ladies and gentlemen, you are all honored this morning till afternoon for you to see and embrace what we've seen few years back. And retaining people is really difficult because along the way, sometimes we create disputes after disputes. Madalas po, marami po bang nagkakasamaan ng loob? Tama po ba? Maraming masama loob. Oy, ibang wingite. A lot of us have heartaches along the way, but I'm telling you, what I admired about Mr. Lim Bunhong and the whole staff below him is he created this Riway embodied with family values. Family at times fight. Family at times argue. Because I've experienced that myself. Some of my leaders I've hurt. Is that right? And at the same time, it's vice versa. But sometimes saying sorry and looking beyond more than what people see about you, that will create the ripple of change from the relationship from basic to something that is actually phenomenal. Whenever couples fight, right? Mag-asawa po nag-aaway, right? But during the time that they argue and they saw their indifferences, the more they become stronger. Because they learn to adapt to each other's needs. In the Philippines, there was a saying that when the people stay together in one house, that's the time they know each other. That's why a lot of couple breaks, right? Ay, walang sumasagot. Gising pa po! That's when people starts to break because they doesn't even started to move themselves backward. Sometimes it's not winning the argument that is important, but winning the person. Winning the person. Pakisabi po, winning the person. Winning the person. It's not about winning the argument, it's winning the person. Because when you win the person, you win everybody behind that person. A lot of people thought that during the retention part, it's easy. The retention part is the most hardest of all because that's the time problems after problems will arise. But ladies and gentlemen, go back to the basic how you started. A lot of leaders doesn't know how to go back to how they started. They forgot. Naku, ayoko nang ulitin ulit yan. 3-star na ako eh. Jed, 2-star na ako. Ayoko namang galing ulit dyan. Pagod na ako. I'm already tired. I'm old. I cannot do that the same again. No, it's not true. Even at this moment where you are seated right now, if you know how to start, if everybody suddenly falls off, can you go back? Can you start over again? Can you rebuild? Yes. When things are shaky, as a leader, look beyond what you are seeing. And that is the key. Sa Tagalog po, pasensya na, kailangan ko pong mag-English ba? Kasi po, medyo, ilan nyo na, para mag-translate. So, kung ang tingin mo po ngayon, ganito, pag leader ka daw, ang tingin mo dapat mas mataas. Tama po ba? May problema sa product. Should I shake you? Lahat po ba ng mabibentang produkto na uubos? Tama po ba? Galunggong nga po naubos eh. Tama? Fourth year pa po kaya, ang daming bumili, palakpakan po ninyo. And when problems arise, you will see the real people behind your back. Because who will be flying with you are the people who can grip with you hand in hand. Kaya natin to, upline. Kaya natin to. Sige, dire-diretso lang. Hindi ka po nag-iisa, kasama mo lahat kami. Yun po yung maganda. Naipit po ako doon. Yung po importante sa lahat. You know you are not walking alone, but you know you are walking with the family, and that is the secret of retention. A few months ago, during the June before I gave birth, my team is shaking. I'm telling to you my personal experience. I have arguments with products, name it. But then, I told myself this is not me. Maybe because of the hormonal imbalances. Mainitin yung ulo. Alam niyo pa, irritable kasi malapit na. You're always in pain. I'm bleeding. I have slight bleeding already because there's no product. People keep on calling. I'm so stressed. But then, I remember the training that I had that I have to look beyond. I have to look up. I have to think like I own the business. And how should we handle it rightly? Even the delegation, even the product, you have to handle them. It's difficult. At times po malilito ka. But then, being a leader means you should be a problem solver. Because every problem that you solve, according to Jackie, I've learned this from him. Could you please give him a round of applause? Where is he? Every problem that you solve, you earn from it. Is that correct? Is that correct? So please, ladies and gentlemen, never hesitate to face problems. Because problems are there so that we can win it over. Because wala pong business na walang problema. Tama po ba, mali? And in this problem, we grow. And in this problem, we retain. Because we do it as a family. And this is what Riway Soul is all about. Palakpakan po ninyo. Every time you solve problems, you earn. You win the person back is something big. Tama po? Tama? Let me go to the fourth one. Ano po yung una? Retail. Second is? Referrals or recruit. The third is? Retain. Okay, we have LTS, we have Leaders Recognition Night, and then we have OPPs as well along the road. And the fourth one, which is very important, is to reproduce. Sige nga po, Tagalogin nyo, nanganganak ka ba? Are you reproducing? Are you duplicating? Grabe po, no? Ako di ko masagot minsan. Kasi kung nag-duplicate po si Jeddah Lyn Monte, good luck. Baka Pegasus 111. Joke lang po. The reproduction or the reproduce word is the most difficult task of all leaders. And the big question is, do you want it to be the person worth duplicating? Ito po, wag niyo pong huwag po kayo sumagot, marinig kayo ng katabi niyo. I want you to close your eyes and ask this question. Is the whole me worth duplicating? Yung tipo po bang pag nagkaroon ka ng 10 kagaya mo, approve na yung buhay mo. Pero kung till now, parang may konting napapaatras ako, it's something you have to think about how you will change it. We are created in this world, even in Genesis, it says, in the beginning is God. And even in the Bible, it stated that man created man and women to what? Humayo at magparami. So we are actually what? Imbibed with the idea that we must what? Reproduce. And kung anong klaseng leader ka, kukopyahin ka, mag-ingat ka lang, baka ang makopya nila sa'yo, yung mali mo. Nakakatakot. Tama po? Minsan, alam nyo po, I remember I doesn't have laptop, I doesn't have iPad when I started Riway. And I'm good at presenting. I'm good at presenting, ladies and gentlemen. But my mentors keep on telling me, Jeddah, this is the system of Riway. This is how we present. Alam nyo po, kahit may pera ako, ang ginagamit ko pong pang-present, yung OPP manual natin. Nakita niyo po yon? Our OPP manual, the 10 pages, back to back, alam niyo po? That's when I started. Because why? I was always boxed up with the idea that, Jeddah, make sure that what you do is worth duplicate-able. If people cannot duplicate you, then do not do it. Alam niyo po, sa totoo lang, may mga leaders na nagsatanong, Jeddah, ba't wala kang iPad? Dapat naka-iPad ka. Dapat may laptop ka pag nagpe-present. Kailangan may ganito ka pag nagpe-present. Kailangan magaling kang speaker. Alam niyo po, nung una nagkamali ako, nagtaka po ako when I attended the first OPP, I was shocked that a guy who keeps on looking at the monitor is the one presenting. And the product is a high-end product. Is that correct? Sabi ko, bakit may speaker silang hindi magaling na speaker? Paano na yan may invite ako high-end? Nakaka-relate po lahat? But then I crossed up with one of the business development. And Ajit told me that time, Jeddah, you know how difficult it is to stand on the stage and to share about Portier? Hindi mo ba alam kung gaano kahirap tumayo? Magkaroon ka ng lakas ng loob na hindi ka kabahan para magbahagi ng bagay na nakita mo. Tama po ba mali? If I'll be giving this microphone till now, are all of you can come up on the stage? No. And that's when I realized Riway is all about molding a no one to somebody. Palakpakan po ninyo. Dati pag nag-present ako ng Portier, grabe, high-end, blah, 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 blah. Alam niyo po, I simplified. There was a doctor presenting before. I separated. It's because masyadong high-end, masyadong technical. And my people just have to know the basic. And we have this system, kopyahin lang po. So I started to present. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so proud that a lot of the people who are wearing coat right now knows how to present because this system is truly attested, duplicatable. Palakpakan po ninyo. Minsan po kahit may laptop, minsan nga po kahit yung product lang hawak ko na, bakit? Nakita pa lang po yung mukha ko, panalo na. Tama? Mapakita mo lang yung before and after picture mo, panalo na po? Ay, grabe, kung nakita niyo lang po yung before-after picture ko, nakita pa lang po yung mukha ko, Jeddah, nagpabiki belo ka ba? Hindi yan belo, Portier yan. Wow, palakpakan po. Grabe po. So how can we reproduce? Duplicate. Duplicate the system. Make it basic. If the people cannot do it, ibaba ka pa, ibaba mo pa. Tama po ba? Have some trainings with your team how to present. Tama po? Akala po kasi nila, porket sila na lang, speaker sila na lang, hindi po. Kayo po ang nasa stage na to. Kayo po rin ang dapat na gumagawa. You should be the one doing this. Sabi ko nga po sa team ko I've been telling my team last week, I told them, it might come a time we might not see each other anymore. It's because when you have your wings, you have to fly. You have to go back to the people below you and started regenerating them again, like stem cells. Ilang oras na po ako nagtutok? 1:40. So I have 20 more minutes left. Grabe. Sorry po Reproduction is difficult. But as I've said, do it right. Do it right again and again and again. Go back to the basic. Have you read po your blue book? The blue book. Have you read the blue book? Some yes, some no. Whatever po is inside is that it's what we actually teach everyone. So go back po to the basic. If you think it's hard for you to duplicate, go back to the basic. And I'm telling you, what you're creating right now is not only for you, but the good thing is you're creating and leaving footprints of legacy to every people that you meet. Alam niyo po, before po I end my talk, I only have 20 minutes left. Akala ko po the worst death is when you die due to a vehicular accident. I thought that the worst death is when you die because of a disease. Makinig po, ilang minuto na lang po ako. Huwag na po kayong maingay. Konting tiis na lang. I thought that is the worst death. But the worst death is not actually that. The worst death is kapag hindi mo natumbok yung purpose mo, bakit ka create ni God ngayon. Akala mo you're only created to become a mother? You thought you're only created to become a breadwinner in the family. You thought you're created to be a student. You thought you're created to become a psychology graduate or a major or a DJ or a nurse or a businessman. No? Kailangan daw po habang buhay ka, alam mo kung anong purpose na ginagawa sa iyo ni Lord. Bakit kanya inallow na mabuhay sa mundo? At kapag daw po namatay ka at hindi mo natumbukan yon, it's like dying, it's like living and dying at the same time. Because you've been like a puppet all throughout your life. Riway is never an easy way. Because Riway, from the name itself, it means right way. Pero alam niyo po, bago ako matulog, whenever I go to sleep, I ask myself, Lord, I did enough? I've been a very cheerful giver to my people, not because I am rich, not because we earn so much, but because I've experienced having nothing at all. And some of the people doesn't even think the time their leaders gave to them. Akala po sa kasi nila si upline habang buhay nandyan. Pero ang totoo po, tuturuan po namin kayo, the rest po will follow. Is that right? Leaders, whatever is your life now, don't put a period. Sabi nga po nila, it doesn't mean that I'm old. It's like, you just be inside the house. Hindi po totoo yan. You're still breathing because God allows it to. Because you haven't got your purpose. I remember when I started, it will never be easy. Along the way, you will experience problem. Along the way, you will experience obstacles. But if you know the big why you are here, the word how long is answerable. The word how long is answerable. Ang dami nga pong pwedeng itanong, gaano ba katagal? With full honesty, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what in the world, have ever transpired, why am I here speaking in front of you? Well, in fact, I'm not yet Pegasus. Hindi ko po alam bakit, pero isa lang po ang naintindihan ko. God won't put me in these shoes this morning just to be a nobody. But I want Him to use me to become an instrument to tell you that you can be the best of you can be. I'm so sorry if at times I injected the Bible word, the Bible, because you know the Bible is a storybook. Is that correct? It's a storybook. Can I share a little excerpt? Okay lang po. You know Samuel is one of the known prophet. And God told him that he has to mentor a king named Saul. And Saul, according to the Bible, is really not a good king. Is that correct? Samuel thought na ang buhay niya, binigay ni Lord sa kanya, is that kailangan i-mentor lang niya. Ang problema po, si Saul nagkamali. Nagkamali. Marami pong beses nagkakamali kayo sa buhay niyo. Huwag niyo pong questionin yung pagkakamali. Because minsan yung pagkakamali, God allowed it also. Don't you know that? Mistakes are even allowed. Because why? In mistakes you learn. Is that correct? So Samuel that time was so down and depressed kasi si God who looked at him and told him to mentor Saul that time, he is a failure. Can you tell this word, failure? Failure. Failure is a very different word. You will become depressed, malulungkot ka, hindi ka makabangon, you cannot get out of your comfort zone because you're a failure. But take note, you're breathing because God is not yet done to your life. Huwag mong tuldukan. Because after Saul, emerged David. And David is known to be one of the greatest king ever recorded. If currently your life, kung ang buhay mo ngayon sa tingin mo, period na, wala kang pera, baon ka sa utang, hinahabol ka kaliwat kanan, may responsibilidad ka sa pamilya mo, hindi ka makalakad, masakit ang buong katawan mo, may sakit ka, you're the breadwinner, I'm telling you, you're not yet a failure. You're not yet a failure. And you are here this morning because God wanted it to. Until now, I ask God, how can a single mom who doesn't have anything, He can create me into somebody? The word how long tested my patience, tested my character, tested my values, and even at times po, kahit walang-wala na ako, nagbibigay pa din ako sa tao ko. Kasi ayoko sila makaramdam na wala ako sa tabi nila. Sometimes they said, give even though it's already painful. Because remember, what we have right now is not ours. Thank you po. Naku, may tissue pala dito. Jed, you earned a lot. Bakit ganyan? Bakit ganyan? Alam niyo po, minsan, even I don't have already even anything, I still give it away. Because I believe whatever He gives me is come from Him. It's not my ability. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm eyeing to be Pegasus soon, but I trust God's perfect timing. Luzon, soon, a Pegasus will arise, and I claim it. I claim it. Do not underestimate. Whatever you will learn this afternoon, this whole day, please take a grip on it. Do it right way. Okay po ba? Do it right way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Let's give Jeddah a round of applause again. Jeddah did commit. She did a very big commitment here. Am I right now? You see, it's about a commitment. It's about a decision that will change the things that will happen in the years to come, in the time to come. Don't you think so? Today, if you tell yourself, I want to slim down, and yet you're still eating a lot, it's just a decision. But the decision, it follows with an action, am I right? So today, if yes, I say I want to do it, but we have to remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the single first step. If you don't have that first step, that 1,000 miles will never happen. So she is able to do such a big commitment. Really, we have to give her another round of applause. She discussed whether this company, we can go how long? We can go how far? Is it important or not? Do you think it's important to yourself? Whether or not we are able to be in this field for a long time or for a short time. We are able to be in this business for a long time, for a short time. It's very important. But what's most important is the group behind you. 3 to 4 years ago, when I stepped into the Philippines, and I had to hand the Philippines over to one of my colleagues and my business development manager at that point in time. His name is Jackie. Because I was posted to the training department. And the training department, mainly, what we have to do is training. Anything that has got to do with a development of a leader, got to do with our department. And of course, if I believe certain people here have heard of and have attended the 3 days training seminar, am I right? So the training department has already been established for about almost 2 years now, and we have almost 2,000 over students in total, up to today. And then, after 1 year later, 1.5 years later, today I'm back in the Philippines. And I think back about, I remember there was once I was driving back in the car from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore, and it's about 300 to 400 over kilometers. And I wasn't in the car alone. I was with our CEO, Mr. Lim Boon Hong. So I was speaking to him, and as long as we have a chance to speak with him, we will definitely see what kind of things we can ask, and what kind of things we want to find out more, we can learn more. We will definitely try, as long as we have a chance to see him. So that time, when I was in the car on the way back to Singapore, we talked about Riway. We talk about Riway in general. I asked him, 10 years ago, have you ever thought that Riway will come to where it is today? That we can be in Singapore, holding an event in the National Stadium of 70 over 1,000 people. I said, do you think it was possible back then? He said, of course, there was a goal that we wanted to achieve, that we wanted to do in the next coming 10 years, or maybe even the next 15 years. That's something we want to achieve. But along the way, it is not because today I set a big target and then 10 years later I really achieve it. It is actually got to do with a lot of those targets that you have achieved along the way. And all these little targets, when they accumulate together, then you achieve the big target. Am I right? And when I entered, and I see Riway, throughout these years that I've been here, for about 6 years now, I have seen Riway achieve and overdo itself over and over and over again. Overachieve even its own standards until today. And I realized a lot of these things got to do with certain decision making that Mr. Lim had to shoulder on his, all these responsibilities he had to shoulder for the development of Riway from the start all the way until now. And yet, he has done such an amazing job that today Riway is where it is today. And during the staff meeting, just now you saw the video of our staff meeting, am I right? You saw the staff meeting where we went to Seoul. A lot of this kind of sign, am I right? But at that day when we were there having the meeting, I didn't feel very like super happy or whatsoever, because when we had a meeting before that, talking about the different managers, the different general managers that were about to step up to shoulder the responsibility of a whole country, when I heard that, the dinner, I didn't even eat much. But the thing is, when I entered Riway, it started from 3 vice presidents. And from 3 vice presidents, it came to until today's CMT. Just newly promoted CMT, 14 of them, plus the previous 8. Until, which is trying to tell you something. Riway says, we want to become world number 1. Yes or no? We want to become number 1 in the world. But of course, when we commit something, it's followed up with action. And the company has now already grown 14 over people to become the new CMT. Which means to say that Riway is ready. Ready to go. Ready to step ahead. It doesn't mean that we say we want to be number 1, we are not doing anything. And Riway is doing something. And in these general managers and deputy chief officers that just got promoted, a few of them have a very, very big impact on me. And one of them is somebody you might be very, very familiar with. And this person is called Jackie. I believe you are very familiar with him. From the start of my journey in Riway all the way until today, Jackie has been a huge help, has been a huge form of motivation, has been a huge form of power behind what I can do today and what I have done today. You see, in this world, you can see two different kinds of people. One kind of person, at every point in time, he is ready to move forward. He is ready to reach bigger goals, achieve bigger targets. But on the other hand, certain people, they feel very lifeless. They have no energy. These two different people, the difference is from the power behind this person that is pushing him ahead. And the other person, the one who feels lifeless, is just like he's lacking of this power, this source of energy, which is this power of motivation. And from Jackie, I really think we should give him a round of applause first. Because when I just came back to the Philippines, it is in such a good state. It is so powerful. There is so many people. I believe he has done a very, very good job. Am I right? And until today, I believe not only him, there are a few other people who have become general manager. One of them is my fellow instructor, training instructor. His name is Ian Chua. And Ian Chua, from the day that he stepped into Riway until now, we always had a goal, had a vision. And I hope that I can take this opportunity to share this vision and share this goal with you as well. Because this vision is one of the motivating powers all the way until today. You want to hear? You sure? About 3 hours. So I remember when he just joined Riway, and we were always very positive, talking a lot about positive things. And hopefully, these visions are able to push us forward in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. And this vision is very, very extravagant. It's too much. But until today, I still feel that it can be done. Do you want to hear? We say one day, if both of us, Ian and I, we are able to drive a car, not an ordinary car, not a simple car. It has to be a sports car. Maybe a Lamborghini, maybe a Ferrari, maybe even a McLaren. Both of us have to own one of these cars each, and then we go to the coffee shop. In Singapore, we have coffee shop. So once we stop outside the coffee shop, two of us, this coffee shop tomorrow immediately become famous. Why? Because 2 Lamborghinis parked in front. Because 2 Ferrari parked in front. And when we buy a Ferrari, we buy a Lamborghini, especially for male, for men. We hope that when we step out of the car, there are some beautiful ladies looking at us and say, wow, he's so handsome. Right, not men? So we both also have this idea. One day we drive to the most happening club in Singapore. We not to go in, we just drive there, stop, and before you stop, you have to press the accelerator because you are vroom, and then we switch off the engine. So people will look, and when they look, then you step out of the car, and people will look at a handsome guy. Say, wow, this guy is so handsome. And then we take out our phone, and then we answer. Hello, Ian, where are you? I already reached. Huh? Not here? You should have told me earlier. I already reached here. Now you're at another place. Okay, I come and look for you. Hang up the phone, look very angry, go in the car and drive away. The reason why we want to do this is just because we want somebody to look at us when we have a brand new car. And when I drive off, it doesn't stop there. When I drive off, I bang into the lamppost. Just there, bam. And then the whole car is spoiled. I cannot drive it anymore. I take up a phone. I say, Ian, I just had an accident. Can you come and pick me? Now a Lamborghini is already being wrecked. And then your friend drive another Lamborghini to come and pick you up. And both of us go inside this Lamborghini and we drive off. And when we drive off, we bang the same lamppost. So we pick up our phone. Jackie, where are you? Can you come and pick us? And you drive a Rolls Royce here. Haven't end yet. This Rolls Royce, we drive, we hit the lamppost again. Hello, Mr. Lim. You bring a helicopter and come and fetch us. You see, this is a very, very crazy, a very extravagant vision. But after you hear it, do you feel happy? Do you feel excited? Do you think that if you hear this or you have this vision, one day you believe you can own a Lamborghini? Now, whether you own a Lamborghini and you bang or not is not important. What's important is we have this vision. And this dream, this goal, this vision, I share with Mr. Ian. And until today, it still brings us to overcome all the difficulties, to overcome all the challenges, to feel that sacrifices is nothing. Because why? Because there are people around us. Now, if we want to achieve bigger targets, it's not about how good we are personally. It's not about how much talent you have as a person. But more importantly, it's about what kind of team you have behind you. These are just a few examples of the people I have behind me to work together to achieve bigger targets, to become world number one. That is our goal. It's just like a cannonball. You see, there are certain people, they are just like a explosive. And then the line where you have to light the fire is very short. So once you light the fire, immediately he explodes. Immediately he has a lot of power. Immediately he feels very motivated. Have you seen this kind of people? Now, this kind of people attached to a big cannon of the group behind you, do you think the explosion will be even bigger? Do you think so? Yes. Which means to say, it's not about us. It's about what kind of team we can have. And just now when Jeddah shared about retaining, I feel Riway has done a lot of things. Not only to the staff, but also to a lot of us, you distributors sitting over here. Why is the recognition night so grand? Why is it so extravagant? Why is it so beautiful? Why the Pegasus have to come up an elevator and then the wings come out very big? Why? Because Mr. Lim had a thinking. He put himself as a distributor. If he was a distributor, what kind of recognition would he want? That is why today we have such a beautiful recognition night, beautiful events in Riway now. So we really have to give Mr. Lim a round of applause as well.